what if I told you there's a secret to making pretty much all of arithmetic feel, well, effortless? A way to unlock some serious speed and accuracy in math, and it really just comes down to mastering two key chapters. Today, we're going to tackle the first one.
So let's just start with this promise. This is the core idea from our source material. The idea is that with the right foundation, math stops being this big, scary thing and actually starts to feel easy. You know, like halwa, a sweet, simple treat you don't even have to think about.
And here's how we're going to get there. First, we'll uncover the big secret itself. Then we'll go right back to the absolute basics, understanding per 100. After that, we dive into the most important skill, what we're calling the conversion game. And we'll finish up with some seriously powerful math tricks that will totally change the way you solve problems.
All right, so section 1, the secret to arithmetic. And look, this isn't just about getting the right answer. This is about building the kind of speed and accuracy you need to really crush it, especially when that clock is ticking during a competitive exam. And here it is, the big secret. Percentages are not just another chapter you have to get through. According to the source, percentages, along with ratios, are the two foundational pillars of arithmetic. If you can get this right, you're not just learning one topic. You're basically building the engine for everything else in math.
So with that in mind, let's strip this all the way back to the beginning and just demystify the word itself. I mean, what does percent actually mean?
And you know what? The answer is incredibly simple. It comes from the Latin per centum, which literally just means per 100. That's it. That's the whole concept right there. It's always about comparing something back to the number 100. Think about it like a test score, right? If you get 70 questions right out of a total of 100, what's your score? It's 70%. There's no calculation needed because the value is already per 100. It's that direct.
Okay, now we get to the most important practical skill of all. We're going to call it the conversion game. This is all about being able to switch back and forth between fractions and percentages without even thinking about it. If you can master this, you have basically mastered the topic.
Okay, rule number 1. Going from a fraction to a percentage. It is so simple. You just take your fraction, in this case 3/4, and you multiply it by 100. That is the whole move. 3/4 times 100 gives you 75%. Simple.
And guess what? Going the other way is just as easy. To turn a percentage back into a fraction, you just do the exact opposite. You divide it by 100. So 75% becomes 75 over 100, which, when you simplify it, gets you right back to 3/4. It's a perfect two-way street.
And this is exactly why that skill is so important. The source material claims that getting this two-way conversion down cold, so it's just a reflex, is genuinely 80% of the work. Once you have that, everything else is just about applying it in different, clever ways. Now, this table right here, this is your new best friend. This is your toolkit. These are the most common fractions and what they equal as percentages. And the source is crystal clear on this. You need to know these by heart. Seriously, memorize this table. It will save you an unbelievable amount of time. All right, now for the fun part. Let's see how this all comes together. This is where we take that solid foundation and turn it into pure, raw speed. These are the pro-level tricks that are going to set you apart from everyone else. So, once that cheat sheet is burned into your brain, you can stop doing the whole multiply by 100 thing. For example, if you need the percentage for 3/4, you don't do the calculation. You just think, okay, I know 1/4 is 25%. So 3 of those is just 3 times 25, which is 75%. It all just happens in your head.
But what about a really weird percentage, like 32.5%? That looks tough. But the trick is to just break it down into pieces you already know. 32.5% is really just 30% plus 2.5%. You know 30% is 3/10, and from your table, you can figure out 2.5% is 1/40. You just add them up, and you get 13/40. No messy division needed.
Okay, now this next one, this feels like actual magic. Look at this problem. 38% of 50. I mean, that sounds annoying to calculate, right? But what if you could just flip it? It turns out that A% of B is always the same as B% of A. So instead, we can just calculate 50% of 38.
And look at what happens. What is 50% of 38? It's just half of 38, which is 19. Done. A problem that looked like a headache is solved in literally a split second.
All right, let's try one that looks even worse. 57% of 33 1/3. I mean, trying to calculate that directly would be a total nightmare.
But let's use our shifting trick. We just move the percent sign, It becomes 33 1/3 terms percent of 57. And what's 33 1/3% from our cheat sheet? It's the fraction 1/3. So the whole nasty problem just becomes, what's 1/3 of 57? The answer is 19. It's that easy.
The source calls these clever tricks hatkande, and that's exactly what they are. They're not just shortcuts, they're these brilliant mental tools that give you a massive advantage when it really counts.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. In any competitive environment, whether it's an exam or something else, speed and efficiency are everything. Someone using these techniques is always going to be miles ahead of someone plugging away with a calculator. This is your critical edge.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Don't just watch this and move on. Use it. Go find a problem, apply one of these tricks right now, and just feel the difference for yourself. So, which problem will you solve first?